Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamara. Today's video I am super excited about. I'm going to be talking about a few thrift flips that I have done. I love transforming pieces that would otherwise end up in the landfill. Save the environment while making your home pretty. If you like this video, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. We do all sorts of projects, thrift flips, IKEA hacks, whole room makeovers. I would love if you would hit that subscribe button. This first project, I found a free hutch on Facebook Marketplace. I was going to use it in my coffee bar area. It just didn't fit in the space. So I held on to it for a while and I thought, why not make it like a plant terrarium? Let's get right into it. So this is the hutch that I had previously got on Facebook Marketplace. It probably sat in my garage for about 6 months, but finally decided to do something with it, and I knew I wanted to bring it up a little bit, so I found these legs at Home Depot. I loved the ornate style, thought it matched really well with the style of the hutch, and then the mounting plates were from Amazon. They just screwed right in. And then once I had the legs on, it was looking really top heavy and kind of like the hutch had skipped leg day at the gym. So I decided to take off this top section. I will keep that top piece for another project just because it is so pretty. But yeah, it was easy to remove. I just used my painter's multi-tool and a hammer and wedged it off just like that. Once I had the top off, I wanted to bulk up the bottom a little bit, so I added a dowel between each set of legs. I used a spade bit to drill the hole and then used wood glue in the hole as well as on the dowels and then clamped it to dry. I also wanted to add a skirting around the bottom of the hutch where it met the top of the legs, just to give it a little bit more stability and add some extra bulk to the bottom there. So I used wood glue as well as some finishing nails to attach that to the hutch. And here is everything glued and clamped together. I let this dry overnight. Once everything was dry, it was time to prime and get it ready for painting. So I like to use Zinsser Bullseye 123. I use it for pretty much every project that I do. But priming is a very important step, especially over raw wood. You want to make sure you have a good base so that the paint is going to stick to your project piece. After priming and letting it dry, I gave this a light sand with a 220 grit sandpaper to ensure that it was nice and smooth for my paint application. And for this piece, I used my favorite black paint. It's Sherwin-Williams Tricorn Black, and I actually color matched it to Behr Marquee, the satin enamel paint. It's the same paint that I used for my bookshelves, and I really like how it has held up so far. I ended up doing 2 coats of this black paint, and it just looks so good. It really brings out the details in the piece. Then I added the doors back on and added some grow lights so that my plants will have an adequate amount of light. These ones are from Amazon. They have a timer for 3, 6, and 9 hours. I will add the link to these in the description box below, but they came with these 3M little stickies. You just stick them on the back and then they just stuck right to the top of the hutch. And then I added all of my plant friends back, and I really love how it turned out. I think it's so cool, and it's definitely not something that everybody has. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This next project is one of my favorites. It's also super easy. I found these vases at the thrift store and I wanted to give them a plaster look. So for this project, I used plaster of Paris. You just mix this with water, and I used a paintbrush to apply it, but you can also use a spackle knife if you want to make it a little bit thicker. Mine was about the consistency of peanut butter, and I liked how it just painted on to the vases. I did about 3 coats of this, and I put it on in like a crosshatch pattern. I just loved the texture that created. Here's how it looked after 3 coats. I used a 220 grit sandpaper just to smooth them out a little bit. Then I sprayed them with a matte clear coat, and this is how they turned out. I styled them in my living room, and I love the texture that they brought into this room. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you next time.